Hi there, it's Leo from Firecrawl, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at the new Browser Sandbox feature. Now, before you think, this is just a new feature they're promoting, I want to emphasize that this is the closest technology we have to giving agents the power of accessing web data. Not only as a string context, but actually opening up a browser, seeing the pages just like we do, clicking through them, and just performing overall actions that we didn't have access to before. So before we actually start, let me hit play on this demo from our X account that will give you a preview of how this feature works. So after a question inside of Claude Code, it triggers the sub-agents to each create a different browsing session. So as you can see, it's actually opening up a web page and working with it just like I explained previously. And just in a bit, I'll show you how you can visualize this as well. So the first thing you want to do is create a folder. I've created one called Browser. Once inside of the folder, place in this command right here, which will be in the comment section. Let me hit enter. And this will help me install Firecrawl. If you're not authenticated yet, it will guide you through the process of authentication. You should now choose which agent you're going to use. We're going for Claude Code. So that's selected. Let's install it inside of the project. Hit yes to start the installation, and you should be fine. As you can see, these folders were created with the Firecrawl skill. This folder down here is just a symlink. I know it seems duplicated, but this is the structure that Claude identifies and therefore will include inside of our Claude Code session. Now, what we just did here is empower Claude Code with a better API web data extraction. Now I can go inside of the terminal, open up Claude, and my prompt will be research everything about the new Claude Sonnet 4.6 model. Use Firecrawl's browser feature to do so. Open at least 5 sessions of the browser in parallel to do the research. Now, this isn't really necessary for the means of the research, but I'm trying to force it to actually use the browser just so we see it working back at the Firecrawl dashboard. So let's hit enter and wait for it to actually trigger all of those sessions. It first understands that there's a Firecrawl skill, uses the Firecrawl status to identify either if you're logged in or not. After it did the search, it should now have all the URLs so that it can start the sessions. Keep in mind that each one of these sessions, so this is it, each one of these sessions has a different browser, all allowing our agent to execute tools in there. Now, this is really just a preview for us. Ideally, we aim to have all the sessions show up exactly like this, but either way, your agent should have access to the data and bring back the result expected. Let's come over to XCollyDraw so I can show the exact dynamics and how we think an agent should actually use these type of tools. So imagine this being our context window inside of Claude Code. Whenever we need context and context that is inside of the web, it should use a web tool like Firecrawl to then scrape a specific page. If it does not have the URL for that page, it should then use the search tool to search for all the options available. And with all those options, once it has the URL, then it goes inside of that URL with scrape to gather the data that we need. Pretty simple. In case it identifies through what it fetched from that website that the website appears to have better context to what we're fetching inside of it, then it might as well just go with our crawl tool to crawl inside of that specific page and retrieve the data that we want. Now, this is all really dynamic and it's up for the agent to decide what's going on. But from our side, what we want to provide over to an agent is the full capability of fetching for the data that we need. And sometimes data is hidden, either because it's inside of an accordion that you have to click that accordion to open up and see that data, either because the context is inside of a table where inside of that table we have to filter it, order it, and do whatever to find exactly the data that the user needs. So an awesome solution for that is the Browser Sandbox. This is that instance that you just saw where it actually opens up a browser and tells the agent, hey, now you have full access to the browser. And these are all the tools that you can use to navigate through the website and find exactly what we need. So because of this, the agent can actually see the website. It can see that there's an accordion and it can click that accordion to open up the context needed so that it is then retrieved over to our Claude Code's context window. So yeah, and if you're creative enough, you already know what are the possibilities with this. And this is all really new, but there are already a lot of use cases that are being implemented right now. And we're excited to know how you would use this tool. So leave it down in the comment section and we'll see you in the next video. Till then.